Some they call it functional alcoholism, but if you know anything about Ben, he's got vision with precision, microphones and a tinkle of derision. You're about to hear what beer can be. It's time for Barley and Me.
Welcome to Barley and Me. I'm your host, Ben Rice. This is episode 132. We're doing still Zoom because everything is still a nightmare. Today I'm going to be talking to two comedians who have previously worked in the beer industry to do a little compare, contrast, maybe? I don't know what we're doing. I didn't plan. We're going to do it anyway. Let's introduce them. All the way from Los Angeles, digitally, it's JoAnn Schinderle.
Crowd was wild.
And also Mark Smalls.
Hey, no intro at all for me, huh? That's dope. I appreciate that.
But, and also Mark.
Yeah, also Mark is here.
Yeah, he doesn't live anywhere on the streets. Don't worry about that.
No, I can redo that. I could have sworn you were in LA now too.
Oh, stop! I'm riffing here, but do you not know my comedy? I always hate on everything. That's fine. I don't need an intro. What are you gonna do?
I mean,
Third place in every comedy competition.
So thank you guys.
That's my fault. He was on the street. Sorry.
Anyway, beer podcast comedians, we're doing it. So I'm sure the listeners at home are already tired of me. So tell me a little bit about your history in the beer industry. What were you doing? How long were you in it? What's going on? Anybody take it?
Why don't you take it, JoAnn?
Thank you. I live in Los Angeles, and when I worked.
No, you don't fucking say. Way.
Oh God, you know what? To be honest with you, I got different. I'm living in.
Hold on, JoAnn. Are you from? Are you not from LA? Are you from
Wisconsin?
I was gonna say either that or Minnesota. Let's go.
Beer capital of the world.
Let's go. A little Genesee action out there. What you got?
Wisconsin. Yeah, I've been a bartender for, and when I bartended, I started bartending in Wisconsin. Learned a lot about beer, learned a lot about, that was less the beer product side and more of what the effects of beer has on grown men watching football.
Oh, yeah.
So that was how I learned the beer industry then. I'll say this, in the great state of Wisconsin, being a bartender on Packer Sunday is a coveted position. Yeah, I know Zoom. Please feel free to chime in.
Oh yeah, I know, it's so fucked. I was gonna say, how many people did you have to kill to get that position?
Oh, I lost friends because I got the position because I started as a waitress and I was a dog shit waitress, but I was really personable. And then I almost got fired from this place called Marley's in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. I didn't put in the appetizer order for 2 fucking hours for a table of 17.
Really?
And it turned wild. I mean, it got ugly because also in the state of Wisconsin, people throw down, right? It got ugly. And then I remember the owner of the restaurant, smart businesswoman. I actually love, every time I've been fired, I respect the person doing it because I'm you're totally right. I fucked up.
Good business leadership. Good.
Yeah, exactly. And so she goes, get a cigarette and I'll meet you outside. And I didn't even smoke, but I was like, someone give me a cigarette. I need one. And so I got one. I went outside and I'm chain smoking 3 by the time she came out. And she goes, look, you're a terrible waitress. But she goes, but people love you and you're a good person. And I'm not going to lie, you upsell really well. It's just
you don't fucking put it in.
Yeah, you don't put it in.
But
you don't bring it
out.
Upsell. But you do.
If you knew what you're doing, you'd make me a lot of money. And she goes, next week you're training in the bar. And I'm like, what? You work years before you train in the bar. Those are coveted words. And I was there for like 2 weeks and got fucking almost fired. And then I was like, cool. But then I worked really hard. Like the fear of God was inside me, you know? And then I got promoted to Packer Sunday, which was a huge deal. And I saw a grown man get his front teeth knocked out the day that Brett Favre suited up as a jet. You know, we got stories. But then I moved to Portland, Oregon, where that's like in like 2012. And so that was at the time, it still is like the microbrewing, one of the capitals of microbrewing in the United States. And I became a beer rep salesperson for a local brewery. So I learned.
What brewery up there?
It's called.
We're not allowed to say names.
No,
that's right.
You
I'm
can
sorry,
say
but,
names. You just don't have to say
I'll
names.
say it.
Okay.
It was okay relationship. I'll plug it a little bit. Old Town Brewing. I will say that place is magical. The people that they hire are really great. But I worked there during their growing pains when they were a pizza restaurant becoming a brewery pizza restaurant. They went through 4 brewers in 3 years.
Oof.
Yikes. But all those other brewers went on to become, either they owned their own brewing after. We had one of the head brewers of Sam Adams. So like I learned so much then. And now I live in Los Angeles and I don't work for beer anymore.
Yeah, and you had a mayor, Sam Adams. That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's my beer history journey. But I love it. I would get back into it in a heartbeat. It's a great community.
It really is. Like, it really is. Like, that's so funny that you got demoted to promoted. Like, how do they demote you to a better position in the restaurant? But that'll work. Like, when you're in a restaurant and you can't be a waiter or whatever, like, you can't, because it's a hard job. People like, oh, how hard can it be? It's a fucking hard ass job to be a good server or whatever. So, people probably hated you that you're so bad. Because I'm sure there were people working there for years that wanted to be in the bar.
Oh yeah, I had to like prove that I was a cool person for months afterwards because especially like, you know, women hate each other. So it's especially like a lot of like
in a restaurant. Oh my God.
Yeah, and this place, it was called Marley's. It doesn't exist anymore, so I can talk about it. But it was a Jamaican family restaurant by day and a neon palm tree dance club by night. Oh. And they actually they had bottles of beer. They never had tap beer, but they had mixed drinks on tap.
Okay.
A little cooler action. Okay.
Yeah, it was
classy.
It was basically this place it's called Wisconsin Dells. Excuse me, it's basically the Reno, Nevada of the Midwest.
Okay. Yeah, they're like, we've had too many heavy pours. We've got to give it just already pre-mixed. Just pour it into a glass from here. We can't be doing this all the time.
Well, interesting fact, to keep going on it, is that the reason why they never had tapped beer and only bottled beer was because this place, it was like a carny town. It was like only 1,000 people lived there, but like 5,000 to 10,000 people would come in the summer. It's a lake town. They have water parks. They have drag racing. They have like all this, stuff. Wisconsin, I mean cars, not beautiful men, but But they had a bunch of stuff. And Noah's Ark is America's largest water park, and it was right next door to this restaurant and nightclub. And Noah's Ark did this thing where the owners, they hired foreigners to do this exchange program where it's like, come work in America, but you're in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, and you're a lifeguard. But all of these people that would work there, they only wanted Heinekens. So literally every bar was just the number one beer that we sold was Heineken because it was a bunch of Europeans that were buying it.
Those goddamn Scandinavians.
No one wants craft beer.
No one wants Miller Lite was craft beer to foreigners.
Miller High Life is
that's the stuff.
Shit, dude.
Magic.
Champagne. I got really turned on to Coors Original, the banquet of beer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is a banquet of beers. Good beer.
So good.
Good beer.
Yeah. You're allowed to say that now. It used to be you weren't allowed to say you liked a Miller High Life or a Coors Banquet. And now you can be like, no, this is what I drink when it's not craft beer. This is fine.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't allowed to say you drank any beer besides fucking Bud Light or Bud, like 10 years ago. It'd be like, you drink Hefeweizen? How many fucking dicks do you suck?
Right. I mean, like, Mark, I live in LA. I don't know where you live, but
I live in LA too, yeah.
No, I know that was the joke. But in LA.
I don't deserve an intro. I can't even pick up sarcasm right now.
Yeah.
In LA, everything is Bud Light, and it's disgusting. I will say Bud Light's fucking gross, dude. Give me
gross,
a PBR any day. But Bud Light is
PBR all day, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I
started working. I've been in the restaurant industry, but the bar scene, for a while. And my friend got me a job at a brewery, Pyramid Breweries. Remember them?
Yeah.
Yes.
They used to make the apricot ale.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hefeweizen. And it was a beer. Like I'm used to mixed drinks. And this was the first job I was like, oh, all you have to do is pour beer. I was like, fucking let's go. And so when I interviewed, though, it was the first time like I'd worked with craft beer. When I interviewed, the manager sat me down and he was like, we like tasted beers or whatever. The first beer he tasted, he like described it and he was like, all right, so like, he goes, what's this taste like? And I go, fucking beer, I thought we were just throwing back a couple beers. Yeah. And he goes, oh yeah. He started, giving me nose and aroma and mouthfeel and this and that. And I thought he was fucking with me, right? I thought he was fucking with me. I didn't know people did beer like that.
Are you kidding on me, sir?
I legit had no idea people tasted beer like that.
Hey, Mark, how's your mouthfeel?
Yeah, I was like, fucking, it's a weird way to get a job, but if this is what it's like to be a grown-up, let's go.
We're written about.
And now I'm in LA. But yeah, he like, I was so he passed it back to me and I thought he was joking. I was like, this one tastes like tennis ball or so. I didn't know. It was my first time, but then like, we had 30 something original beers on tap from Pyramid. Yeah. Also we had like Portland Brewing Company, which was, a part of the same people. And what was that? McCarnahan's. Yeah.
Not
isn't
McMinnville.
McTarnahan's, isn't it?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a huge chain. It's like, it's now like the Widmer brothers.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Oh God. They own so many businesses. It's the company that I worked for. He modeled everything off of them. He's like, I want to be the next. I gotta Google it now. Hold on, sorry. Keep talking, but it's.
Yeah, I forget who owns Pyramid right now, but yeah, they bought up.
I think it's NAB. I think NAB still owns it, which is like a fucking huge. They own Genesee. They own
Red Hook. I think is in there.
I don't know about Red Hook. I know.
Kona.
They're out of like Costa Rica or something.
Yeah, I forget. There's like.
Well, yeah.
That
beer was shit.
It was pretty bad.
It's not good.
It was really bad. It was really bad. And we would just get, that shit, I would have to unload, I wouldn't unload the kegs, but I would have to like move them around in the morning and shit. And it was just like 32 beers of fucking garbage. It was like that. They had like, some of it was good. This was back when like IPAs started popping. So we had like 4 different IPAs. You had the Thunderhead. You had the Outburst. You had the fucking... Then, like, the Curveball, which was like a blonde ale, would come around. And, they had breweries in Berkeley. They had brew houses in Walnut Creek. They had a brew house at, like, the fucking airport. It's all gone.
It's all gone.
It's all gone.
Yeah. McMenamin.
What is it?
McMenamin.
McMenamin, yeah.
Had like Hammerhead Ale, and McMenamin's is McMenamin's is like the Skechers of breweries.
And I just listened to Dark Pants again today, just to remind myself. JoAnn has an album. It's called Dark Pants. You should listen to it. It's good.
There we go.
Dark Jeans, Ben.
Yeah. Dark Jeans? Fuck, sorry.
Damn,
Research.
gave her the intro. Fuck the album name up.
Fuck it all
But
up.
yeah, don't worry about my fucking album either. Jesus fucking Christ. I got all this.
Do you know Mark Smalls? He lives in Alaska. Very funny comic.
I know, yeah. He's got a vinyl coming out on fucking Napster. He's got a fucking EP on Rhapsody Music coming out. Remember Rhapsody?
Dude,
No.
I was never I feel like kind of a Luddite. I grew up, I mean, not only in Wisconsin, but we just like, my parents never really, they were more like, we'll make you a pair of stilts before they'd buy me something, you know?
Yeah.
Family. And so the internet I wasn't really used to it. And then I actually here's a segue. I worked for 4 years in Portland. I was stand-up comedy, but then on the side would do social media for breweries. So I got to know other breweries really well. One of my favorite, 5440 Brewery, shout out if anyone is watching or listening. It's in Washougal, Washington, right on the gorgeous Washougal River. But Bolt Minister is the head brewer there, the nicest guy in the world and the punniest guy in the world. He one of those brewers that, I mean, I think it's obnoxious. He's not obnoxious about it, but it's so obnoxious, especially as a bartender, when breweries give their beers like 10 fucking names. It's like, come on. We don't need to do this, you know, because then you have to enter that in the computer, and then you're like, you know, someone's like, can I have the break side? And you're like, which one?
I want the inside break side. The 19 version though.
No, I want the inside Tuesday baseball with Maori break side. And you're like, Jesus Christ.
It's out of hand right now. I feel it just got to the point where it's like weed names.
Yes.
It's just like, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
When I ran a comedy show called Control Yourself every Sunday night at a place called, it's a bar restaurant called Alberta Street Pub, and they had 50 taps of
That's
microbreweries.
too many.
I was like, way too many.
Way too many.
20 is like, you're going crazy on this. They're like 50.
50.
10 is fucking insane.
Beautiful.
Right.
No, 10's too many.
Oh, I'm gonna fight you, Mark.
10. Fuck 10. No, because listen, I'm a bartender. Don't fuck around and make your fucking bartender hook up 10 fucking kegs at a time. You need 6 beers. You need a light. You need a dark. You need a hoppy. You need a fucking sweet one.
You need
then 2. And then you need your Budweiser, and then this one, your fucking cider.
Yeah,
sure.
It doesn't. You don't need fucking 15 billion beers.
You're totally right, Mark. In the keg room alone, it's like the second a keg blew, I would just tell people like, we're out.
We're out.
Like, I know there's extra kegs that I could tap on, but I'm like, fuck no. I'm 7 people deep in this line. It blew.
Yeah.
We're done. What's your next choice?
Yeah.
Which is not a good sales pitch or marketing tactic, but it's like, well, fuck you, owner. You did this to us. So that's what you get.
Yeah. Especially because a lot of bars, they don't know how to fucking, a lot of bars won't ever bleed out in the morning. So quality control, if you get over 10 taps, it's insane. You don't know how you're leaving the beer in the lines. They're not getting cleaned. Your fucking pressures are off. Your temps. That's the one thing. Like when I started working at Pyramid, the guys that ran it were great. Everyone that ran the company was great. The beer was just bad. It was just bad.
I don't think it's that bad. I remember having Pyramid in a bottle. I think it was just their Pilsner, their standard, right?
They used to have like a blonde ale that would come in. No, it was all hef and apricot, but then they started doing everything else.
Apricot?
No, I just started getting
it.
Yeah, it was just. But what I'd say was the guys like, you know, we take temps every fucking morning. You know, I'm taking a temp every morning on each line. It's just too much, though, if you got 1632. It's wild.
If I was a brewer and I'm trying to sell beer in places, I truly would, after being on the back end of the bartending end, I wouldn't want my beer in a lineup of 50 because that's then your product doesn't matter. You're in control of what the sales pitches of the people behind the bar, whether they're good or bad. You're in the lineup of are you trying to move this keg that's been sitting still for 3 weeks? It's not good.
Yeah,
and it's so crazy to me how no one thinks that. Like, I meet beer reps all the time, and I'm like, why are you even in here? We have 50 taps.
Yeah, like, is any restaurant doing the kind of business that can, like, make sure that 50 taps are constantly rotating? It's not possible.
Right.
There's
Because
no way.
then,
What is that? What is that down there? The Slater's. What is this? Slater's. What's that restaurant with like 150 beers on tap?
Oh my God.
Slater's 50/50.
Jesus Christ.
Isn't that what it's called? It's from
know.
down here. Yeah, I think it was from down here.
If you lived here, you would know,
Yeah.
Mark, but I don't know.
Well,
I know.
Yeah.
I live in Alaska.
Yeah. The one time you traveled, they went out of business years ago because nobody would want that.
Mm-hmm.
I hope. It's probably still in business and thriving, and it's gross, and people don't respect things. Anyway, it's fine.
It's fine. I got really in this year, well, the last couple of years, but like since living in LA, micheladas.
Oh yeah, my girl is huge on those, and I've always liked them. I've always liked them, but I'd never like ordered them all the time. But everywhere we go, we got the fucking. She got the what's the fucking seasoning around the rim that people do?
Oh, tahini.
Mm-hmm.
I
You gotta carry that.
right now. Put it on
I'm
some
sure.
pineapple. Ooh,
I'm sure. Fucking Topo Chico and tahini, and it might be a little. We went to the beach a couple weeks ago, and we bought like a bunch of these cups that had the michelada mix in it.
Okay.
You would just buy the cups and pour the beer in it. It's pretty fucking fire.
Yeah.
I like
How do
that.
y'all feel about like Budweiser and stuff jumping on like the michelada in a can or the hard Bud in a can?
I hate hard seltzers.
Boo.
You like them, Ben?
No,
You don't like them?
I hate. I drink them. I don't really care for the seltzers so far, but I'm like, you know what, Budweiser. I think they've always done like a michelada type thing. I think they've always had that. So I
The
think
Chilado. Yeah.
So
Okay.
But they're leaning into it a little more.
Yeah.
There's more shit.
Well, yeah.
I had a buddy.
Because they used to have the
What's
market
up?
on that. They used to have the market on the lager that goes into it, and now people are making good craft lagers. They're putting their craft lagers, and they're like, we got to take this back. Get out.
You got the fucking. I'm waiting for the black and tans to make a fucking huge comeback.
That's never
'Cause
going to happen.
I used to fuck with that jug,
the Mississippi
jug,
Mud?
and you would. Oh, I love it, bro. It's my favorite, dude.
Were you one of those people that, like, if we bartended together, Mark, would you be one of those people that you're like, this is how you make a black and tan? Because there's always that one bartender that's a dick about it.
Listen. Kinda. All right.
Mark pulled out a special spoon from his.
Nah, I wasn't like that. I
The other
didn't
ones
give
are
a
too
fuck
deep.
about
They
that.
splash too much. It's a mess.
I actually would be the one, like, the last brewery. No, never mind. I've worked for so many. Holy shit. I quit. I walked out of my last brewery. The one before that, I'll give a shout out, was Danville Brewing Company. That's it's like East Bay. And they were fucking great. And one of our brewers, RIP, was a great fucking guy. He would not let me make anything mixed together with beer. He would fucking be so upset. And so like they would be like, don't mix it. I'm like, it's a fucking black and tan. And they go, oh, well, it's not a fucking Pilsner. I go, give him the fucking lager, give him the fucking stout. Let the fucking guy order the beer. It's okay. Oh, we don't have the special spoon. It tastes great. Don't fucking mix my fucking beer. Don't fucking put anything in my beer. If I catch you putting a fruit in my beer, I'm like, all right, whatever. You do what you want.
Like,
I guess.
if you could baby bird me a black and tan into my mouth, I'll drink it.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't think I was ever like a snob of like, you got to layer it right.
Yeah.
The difference of bartending in Wisconsin and then Portland and then LA, because I bartended in LA, and what a nightmare.
This conversation is giving me anxiety because I know it's got to happen for me soon. So I'm just
I want to hear how you walked out. I truly do.
It's like, oh, this drink I made, it's called the Delaying the Inevitable. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
I've been not fired, but strategically let go from every bartending job that I've had because of comedy. And it was not a negative, like even my first one in Wisconsin, I took that job so I could build. I mean, we made $600 a person a night with 10 people behind a bar. This place was a literal nightclub. Like, it was dope, right?
That's wild.
But that's how. But
and that was all. Sunday. Was that all straight, or was that
all cash?
That's, that's all tourist,
I'm saying, like,
baby.
I'm saying no. I'm saying like was it
what
all?
What kind of dance club you got?
Were you stealing?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. That's what I was.
Yeah. This is like going back to I have to give credit to those business owners because they live in a town of 1,000 people, but they have to make up enough revenue to sustain a fiscal year in 3 fucking months. Okay. Like, no one comes to this place outside.
Different culture. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and it's drinking culture. So we would literally, the term bar mat shots. Oh, people would pay for those.
No.
Wow.
Like, this is the type of shit. Wow. Like, the goal was to fucking puke. You know what I mean? Like, but
because I've worked at places that I've made $600 a night, but it was,
Oh yeah, I'm not.
It was a little sketchy.
Oh yeah, no. This was like straight up. Well, and the thing was, the fucked up part was that basically that town, you either owned a business or you worked for someone that owned a business. So the tips were always huge because it's like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Yeah.
So it's like, you come to my bar, you tip me $100. Well, next week I'm going to yours and tipping you $100 too. So it's all that kind of like Venmo transaction these days where the money's really never touching anybody,
Yeah.
But this spot was like, it was wild. I had to hand it to him. I forget where I was. I'm drinking wine. I should be drinking beer, but I didn't have time to go out. So I'm
drinking a fucking LaCroix.
Oh my God.
Oh, I got that too. You ever put wine in the LaCroix? I will say, at the bar that I worked at, I got to make up drink specials. My favorite drink special to this day that I make up, I call it a Jesus bomb. It's red wine and Red Bull.
Oh,
okay.
It's fucking
do you ever add anything to beer other than chilada, tomato juice? Because I have a secret one.
No, just the brass monkey, just orange juice.
Chambord.
Yo!
And Corona. They're little.
You can't say that Coronas on air, Mark.
No, you pour that in, baby. You pour that Chambord. Or like, I was doing that before I was on IPAs. And then when IPAs came out and I found like a very like low pale ale, not IPA, like pale ale, but bitter, something real bitter. The sweetness with the bitterness. Woo! Girl, that shit fire, yo, and it fucks you up.
What would be your ideal beer to put in a Chambord float with?
Right now, I haven't learned a while. I just remembered it when you were talking about putting. Maybe I was.
Like a Chambord seems like a pale ale would be dope with that, but like a Kolsch would be disgusting, right? That would be.
Well, it started from Coronas. I would go. Let me just get some Chambord in that Corona. Yeah.
Okay.
So then like a light pill, something not too sweet. You don't want like an IPA because then it's just too much sugar.
No.
You want you want something a little bitter, a little pale ale. Not bad.
Yeah.
Super good.
I've never asked you, what's your favorite beer? You feel like an ESP guy.
Oh, I do love an ESP.
Hold on. I want to guess. I want to guess. All right. I got to go from looking. All right. You're going to give us one, or you're going to give us a grouping?
This is your game, man. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
You got to name the exact beer.
Okay. Yeah. While Mark's thinking, you're our customer. You're walking up. I'm clocking you. We're clocking you. We're thinking what you're going to get. Okay.
Yeah. I'm thinking, I love this game because I do that shit all the time.
I hate this game.
Oh my God. I hate working in a restaurant. No, it's going to happen again. No.
I feel like I can guess how much people are going to tip.
Just so we're clear, I'm walking in, I'm all alone. I've never been to a bar before. I'm not bringing friends with me. I'm kind of slumping
You're wearing
and it's the
Black Lives
perfect
Matter shirt. You're a white man
perfect
with blue blockers wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt.
Yeah.
It's 2 p.m. It's 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Pulling up in your Subi. Do you actually have a Subaru?
I used to.
Yeah, see, called it. Dude, like when you said Kolsch, boy howdy, did that really that struck a nerve with me. But I don't think Kolsch. I'm gonna say a nice stout.
Ooh, like not too fucked up, not too chocolatey.
Just a classic.
Uh-huh.
I'm not even gonna say stout. I'm gonna say a classic porter.
Oh, you're gonna lowball me? Okay, you're like this.
I'm gonna lowball you. I'm gonna say a porter.
Yeah. Oh man, I do. You might. You know what? Honestly, if I see a classic porter on there, not a hazelnut porter, just like a porter.
Yeah.
I'll order it.
You're fucking with that, huh?
Yeah.
You see that Black Butte?
Black Butte? Oh, you give me a Black Butte. I will drink it all night.
I told you this shit. I does this shit.
I once emailed.
Assume you'd come up with too many questions, straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, way too many questions.
You'd be like, "Oh, hey," and you'd be like, your first question would always be like, because you'd preface it be like, "I always ask this," but how many? What kind of IPAs?
Yeah. Hi, this is. What do you like here?
Yeah. What do you like? What's your thing?
Ben's a conversationalist.
Yeah.
What do you like?
Nobody
here?
wants me in their body.
Yeah. Because you show up with your fucking headphones on too, and then you take them off and you set them on the bar, and then you go onto your fucking beer advocate account.
I'm on my Untapped.
You're Untapped. There it is.
I've already had this.
You're fucking rating it. You already got an idea of what you want, but you want to see if the fucking bartender. I hate you.
Is this bartender cool? Does this bartender know what's up?
I would ask you.
I hate those people.
I'm not that person.
I'd be like, you know what? I don't really fuck with IPAs.
You don't fuck with IPAs?
I don't. And
okay, let me see if we can nail you. Let me see. By the way, you never gave us an answer, Ben.
Oh,
no, I want to get. I'm still guessing.
Okay, so she's still doing. Okay, got it.
I would sell you on a red, and you would say yes, and you would take a taster, and then you would deny it. You'd be like, "That was good," but, and then I think you'd go. I think after the red, you'd settle on a pale ale.
Oh man,
I need to know what you think my reason for rejecting that red ale is.
I think because you're smart enough where you're like, that's not because reds are always tricky with people. You'd be like, that's not.
Yeah.
That's too chocolately.
Yeah.
It's too caramely.
Yeah,
I don't
too
like
caramel.
it.
That's exactly mine. That would be mine. I'm like, it's too caramely.
Told you, bro.
It's too thick.
Caramel.
Too thick. Doesn't really get out of there. Mouth feels all wrong. Don't care.
Can I get the pale ale?
Because after tasting that too caramely red, you're like, well, now my palate's fucked up and I can't go to what I really want. I gotta downgrade. But what is your answer?
Whatever I haven't had before. I drink everything.
See, I knew
everything.
it. That's why I fucking asked that question, JoAnn. I said, is he going to give us an answer or is he going to give us a fucking grouping?
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it.
I don't care. I just like, I don't.
That's kind of like how I am, dude.
I've drunk so many beers, and it's like I don't go back to things anymore like I used to. When like Black Butte, I used to drink that by like the case. That was not up for debate.
That was good, Mark.
Yeah.
I love Black Butte.
I mean, how can you not?
I fuck with a good porter, a good stout, but then I'll fuck with an IPA. I'll drink a pale ale. I won't drink a red ale. I will never ever drink a red ale.
So few good ones.
I hate them. Hate them.
There's so few.
But have you had a Leinenkugel's red?
Don't like it.
Oh,
don't
so
fuck
bad.
with it.
Boo.
Don't fuck with it.
Boo,
I'll be like,
JoAnn.
that's too sweet. But then, on the
sweet.
other hand, I'll go to a fucking sour, like a grape fucking, rosé sour. Fuck with me, yo.
Yeah. Hand it over.
Oh, I love them.
Here's a question.
Here's what I don't like.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't like. Here's what I will vehemently deny is a hazy IPA. Yeah, vehemently. Vehemently.
Vehemently.
Is a hazy IPA. Okay. Every fucking IPA I go to the bar and I go, let me get the IPA. And it doesn't even have orange in the name. I just know it's going to be fucking hazy. And I go, wait, Is it hazy? And they go, yeah. And I go,
get it away
no.
from me.
Get the fuck out of my face.
I'm not trying to get
Don't like
heartburn
it.
right now drinking a beer. Get it?
Well, and like, so I worked, I think it's now out of business, who knows, but in LA I worked at Alamo Cinema and Draft House, and I worked at the bar in the front, not upstairs, but like the bar area downstairs before you go up. And we also had like 51 fucking taps. And it's so hard to sell someone a beer with 51 taps when also that movie theater, if you've never been, you have to get in at a certain point. Like, they don't let you in like 30 minutes before the movie starts. Like, it's a whole thing. And so you'd be trying to like, but we're the first point of contact. So we're like, hi, are you here to see a movie? And they're like, yeah, but I just want a beer. And it's like, okay, well, what time is your movie? Because you got to get up there. Or like, if you have enough time, I can help you out right now. Like, whoa, what do you have? But the way that they're here's another mistake venue owners make is the way that it was displayed. There was no menu for the beer. It was just on like a chalkboard or like a tack board behind us. And it would be the name of the brewery, half of the name of the beer, because normally they were too long, and then the percentage of ABV. But some of these a lot of them were like 10%. The hazy fucking IPAs were like 10%. So people were like, what's the most alcoholic beer you have? And I'm like, this fucking hazy IPA. And then they're like, okay. And then the bill would be very expensive because it's downtown Los Angeles. Yeah. And they're like, I thought it was only $10. I'm like, no, that's how much alcohol you're getting, you idiot. Like, it was so...
That's hilarious.
The communication factor is so off.
Look, I just want you guys to know that in this trio of people that we are talking with right now, we're all on board for fuck you hazy IPAs. And all my listeners are furious, and I love it.
They like hazy IPAs.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Oh, fuck off!
Everybody loves a hazy IPA. Up. Everybody loves one.
Or an OJ and a Mickey's, and shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Okay, does it taste like beer? Not at all. Oh, I love it. Does it taste like an IPA? Not at all. Oh, great! Sounds good. Let's get it.
That Alamo Draft House shit. I saw one movie there. I drank a 10% beer. I got halfway through it. I fell asleep. I can't drink a beer in a fucking movie theater. There's no fucking way. It's AC. It's dark. I'm comfortable. I'm now tired because of all the sugar in it, motherfucker. I'm going to sleep.
Thank you for saying that. I would get to see free movies. So after my shift, I'd get to go to a movie and I would sleep. I'd have my shift beer and I'd zonk the fuck out. And then it was like,
the best.
How is Hollywood?
Yeah, you think you're drunk. You think you're drunk and shit. Yeah. Like, fucking hey, yeah. I don't fucking know, dude. My sleep was great.
Hazy IPAs taste like soap. Normal IPAs make me sneeze. I can't even do it. I will never forget one bartender in Minneapolis.
Do you have a hot allergy?
Bless his soul. I think I have really bad allergies, but I'm allergic.
That's probably
to
what it is.
Grass. I'm allergic to like the pollen. And so like IPAs, like literally one sip of an IPA and I'm in a sneezing fit. So
that's
I don't
crazy.
Well, that explains the Leinenkugel love.
Yo, that's wild.
So maybe it's because I was born there, but yeah, like Leinenkugels doesn't fuck with me. My favorite is Oberon.
Oh, okay. Yes.
What's that?
Oh,
I've never had that.
It's a wheat ale from Bell's Brewing in Michigan.
Bell's.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
Bell's
my favorite beer. It's my favorite beer.
But Bell's Oberon, so cute.
Oh, gotta have it. They put out a mango version I saw the other day. I'm like, no, don't mess with my beer. Just give me my Oberon. Don't mango it up. Gross.
No, it's already hard a little bit.
Yeah.
I was impressed with Maui Brewing when I went out there. I was I drank a couple of them when I was out here, but when I went out there, I think maybe because it was fresh.
Oh yeah.
But that was like really good stuff down the line was Maui Brewing. I have to give a big shout out to everybody that I work with Pier, even though now I feel bad. But the people that ran that place were fucking awesome. And they were like, they had such a good passion. They let me run a comedy show out there. And the dude, our GM, built these like tables on these little like bar tables on top of like kegs for the show. He like went out and bought lights. We had like a banquet room. So like, you know, on the back patio Friday nights, there would be music, you know, and then sports in the big bar. And then in this banquet room that I had blacked out was a fucking comedy show. It'd be jumping, you know. We'd do 2 shows, you know, a month on a Friday night or something. It's fucking the best. And, you know, we're drinking for free.
Yeah.
It's a big corporation. They know they get the beer for cheap, so they hook the employees up. We would get to take home a case of beer all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm taking home a case a month, and then if people didn't sign out for the cases, fuck, I'm taking your case too, yo. I was like
secondary market,
god.
baby.
I was a god. That literally boosted me in the comedy scene. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Because I had free beer. So these people that were running shows, I would be like, yo, I got this beer hookup. Just hit me. I'll just bring it. And I wasn't like, let me get a set. I'd be like, oh yeah, just hit me. I got more beer than I can handle. I would get the set from it. Now I'm on the show. Like, fuck my jokes. You got to bring shit to the table.
There is something to say though, because a lot of the time, I mean, comics get paid in beer and sometimes food, but mostly beer, which is why we're all tragic human beings. But it's like, that is having that beer hookup. And that's when I would do social media for bars, is because. Oh,
so you're getting it too.
Well, they knew I ran the show on Sunday and I was a brewer at this other bar. So they were like, JoAnn, can you get our beer on tap at Alberta Street Pub where you run your show, because I'm already selling beer for this brewery. So I was like kind of like off the record being like a beer salesman, you know, for all this stuff. And I was like, sweet. And then like when these aforementioned 4 brewers in 3 years went on to make their own breweries, I was still their connect, and they're like, yo, anywhere you go, there's a group of at least 35 people that are going to be there. Like,
yeah,
we would just stock, you know, green rooms with beer. And it's truly so beautiful because the comics really feel taken care of. And so even if it's just, you know, one show or a weekend of shows, but it's like, hey, 5440 Brewery sponsoring this, we got free beers, they're drinking them, they're loving them, they're shouting them out to the audience. Like, it's the tiniest
it's a great marketing thing.
It's great marketing. And it sucks because whenever I would run into like a brewer or somebody or a company that was like, no, what, like they're too big for their britches, it's like, fuck you.
But you have to lose money. You have to like even that place that I worked at for Pyramid was every year, besides the first year they were in business, the business was in business for 10 plus years. Every year they lost money.
Yeah.
But they lost a little amount of money to be like, this is an advertisement. Yeah. You know, Fridays we're doing $8 growler fills, and we'll fill anybody's growler, but we got to throw a sticker. And it was like, we want our shit at the fucking barbecue. We want our shit at the comedy show. We want our shit here. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how all of these breweries have exploded.
Yeah. And I was like, one time I would record the show and then put it out like as a podcast kind of thing. And, you know, I'm in Portland at the time. My friends from Wisconsin are listening. There was a one show, 5440 sponsored it, and people were talking, and they're like, holy shit, what's that one beer everyone kept referencing? Because every comic was thankful, because we're good fucking people. And they're like, hey, shout out to 5440 Brewery.
Damn, that's wild. It's crazy.
Yeah, and so now people in Wisconsin are like, what's that brewery? You know, like, and owners don't think of this shit, and it's so wild to me. It's like the smallest act of kindness truly goes a long way, especially for a beer product, because if you're not out in the field doing taste tests at like a brew festival or something,
and nobody's going to remember that anyway.
Well, you're selling listen, if you're a beer company, if you're a weed company, you're selling a party, okay?
Yeah.
And if your party is too fucking businessy, no one wants to drink your shit. So if you're fucking selling your shit, that's cool. It's in comedy shows. It's gonna pop.
Right.
Yeah.
It truly got me. I've always said to my friends, and I was like, yo, my backup plan is probably owning a restaurant.
Don't do that. Ew.
No. But now, because I always thought that bars were like, we were always told that like bars are recession proof. It's like, well, bitch, they're not pandemic proof.
Yeah.
Like, we never thought about that.
Yo, 2 days before my shit shut down, a dude came in and said, I don't know. I said, bro, listen, dog, I've been doing this shit for 20 years. we don't fucking close. Everywhere else closes, we don't fucking close. I get the email 2 days later, we're fucking closed.
It's true.
Don't worry, people need comedy though. Comedy's fucking closed too.
Right.
Sick.
That's why I'm working for the fucking census now. It's like, well, the government needs people, so here we are.
When did you get the census job?
I applied for it in March, pandemic timing, because I was like, oh shit, blah, 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 you know. I was like, I don't trust getting unemployment at all. Like,
I just listened to like a This American Life about someone getting a census job after fucking something was popping.
I haven't heard it. It's a shit show. It's a nightmare, but thankfully it finally worked itself out for me personally. But it's like it's a nightmare because the census is super important for various reasons. It happens once every 10 years. You need to get counted. Shout out to any listeners. If you haven't filled it out, please fill it out.
They're calling. Answer the call. Do the thing.
I don't do it.
I did mine.
You know why? You know why, JoAnn? I'm not a snitch. Okay. And I ain't snitching. Hey, you know, what is it though?
No.
Is it though?
Well, this year's is very strange.
I ain't snitching.
So many people are scared of, I agree with you. So many people are scared of like, where's this information going? I can't tell you how many people are like, is Trump getting this information? And I was like, you're a number at this point. Like it's every 10 years, it's just to see how the population has grown. So then the city funding and neighborhood funding can be diverted, or like not diverted, but just
it will be diverted. Let's face facts.
It'll be diverted. We're dodging the funding.
The idea is
I don't get the CVS card. I don't get the casino. I don't fucking take the census bureau.
No, but you don't like at this point. I was just in Vegas for a week doing it. Like we don't care about your name. You can literally deny anything that you.
Oh, you just gotta like fucking.
We just need the numbers. We just need the numbers of people. Like in the beginning, people were like, "Yeah, give us."
Mark Smalls is a ghost. You aren't gonna give Mark Smalls his information. That's why I didn't say where he was from. He's like, don't mention it. He's gonna. He called me out like an asshole, but he's like, don't say where I'm from.
I'm gonna write that Mark Smalls lives in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Just so.
Mark him down. Put him down. If you got your countdown, add one more for Mark Smalls.
One more,
the census, bro. I started trying to. This will be a good shout out for me to come to my Twitch channel. That's what I started doing. I just started trying to play video games.
You have a census
I got a Census Bureau Twitch channel where you just come into my Twitch channel. You hit the follow, maybe the sub button if you want to support, and I forward all that information to JoAnn.
Yeah, thank you.
You know,
it's behind the scenes Twitch census.
Fill out your zip code, number of people in your household.
Yeah. It's mostly for it's like for schools and like to see how many kids go to schools and for like representation. So like they do
an idea. What if we just gave every school money? What about that? What if we just gave every school money? Why do we need to know how many people there are? I mean, I get it, but also we have been bad about where we put that money. We're like, oh, there's a bunch of white people. I mean, white people, people.
I don't get. That's the scary part is that I don't care about counting rich white people. They're already filling it out. I don't give a fuck. This is for like other people, but also
give my town its money. My little township. We annexed ourselves from the city. Please.
That's the key word. There is not the town. It's the township.
Yeah, the township. Yeah, welcome to Wisconsin. Yeah, there was a lot of I made a lot of people nervous in Vegas, and I get it. And my friend, she came up to me. She goes, JoAnn, you look like a social worker. Do people even answer the door for you? And I go, no, they don't. No. They really don't. And if they do, they look very scared. Yeah. But I'm nice, and I'm trying to just talk to them.
Yeah, I can see that. You show up like, my kids are doing fine, and you're like, I can't take that as an answer. I need to go inside.
No
and
hablo inglés.
I'm not even here for that. Wait, hold on. Why am I answering this way? I'm not even here for that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've always had jobs that are more personable, like full circle slanging beer. Like I got really good at just going to beer festivals in Oregon. And here's what I love about talking to beer connoisseurs is buzzwords.
Nothing.
All you fucking need is a buzzword. And these people with their fucking khakis and their Tevas and their bucket hats and the wives.
Yeah.
You know, with
You fuck around and say IBU, and they're like, what?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Those don't even mean anything, you know.
Yeah. But if you relate them to the original Gravity, they're like,
boy.
Yeah.
Clean up on
know
aisle
what
you.
He is.
You know what original Gravity means?
Yeah.
I would hate to see the motherfuckers that had no idea. Like, I would hate it, but like for some reason I'd love that. Was like the people that thought that they had idea of what they were talking about, but had no fucking clue.
No, but they love it. I'm gonna sneeze.
I listen, I want something hoppy, but I don't like pale ales. And
Yeah.
you're like, man,
Oh
suck
my god.
ass,
I gotta
bro.
find this
Yeah.
text. I had a friend text me like, I need a beer. I don't want it to be sour. I don't want it to be hoppy. And I don't want it too sweet. And I don't want a lager. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do
I
with
don't want
this?
a lager.
Yeah, but the fuck, you want a lager, bitch? What the fuck is that?
It's like, you want a lager, but you say you don't want a lager.
They want a cold.
I hate the tasting. Like every bar that I've worked at, you always had to give taste, right? Because there's
I love
50
it.
beers on tap. So they're like, oh, let me taste that. No. Oh, let me taste this. No. There's a bar that I used to do shows at in the city in San Francisco. And the guy owns it. And it had 30, 40 beers on tap. And this motherfucker, no taste. It's the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And people are stunned every time someone go, oh, could I taste the 4? He goes, no, you can't.
Good.
You buy it, you don't.
Good.
And they're like, but I don't know. He goes, well, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
You don't go to the bar. You go, can I taste the Budweiser? You fucking buy it. You don't want it. But I'm like this. At first,
What kind
when I asked to taste and he said no for the first time, I was like, nice. I was like, all right. I was like, let me go for it. Let's go. Because I never sent back a beer.
Yeah.
No.
I remember
You drink it.
You drink it. You should
I
drink
ordered
it.
I ordered a beer once and the bartender stopped me. He's like, hey, are you sure you want this? I'm like, yeah. He's like, we don't do taste, but I'll give you a taste. I'm like, no, just give me the beer. He's like, I want to let you know that everybody who's ordered this beer has returned it. I'm like, yeah,
You
I
go,
know.
I don't give a fuck.
Give me the beer.
It's like a rite of passage because you know not to do it again.
Right.
Well, my excuse was I already had the beer. I'm like, I know I like this beer. I know why people don't like it,
Okay.
but I like it. Just give
I
me
do it like a painful thing.
yeah. But I also will do that.
And
Like,
what
this is
beer
the
was
return-
it?
It was.
Well, yeah. What beer was
It
it?
was habanero sculpin.
Oh, never had it.
Yeah, it's an
Sounds
IPA
good
with
though, because I
habanero.
love spicy tequilas.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, I do like. I don't like the smoky shit. I don't
Yeah.
like the mezcal.
Well, the same brewery had like a curry beer, and I was like, yeah, I'm into that too. Hand it over. It's a curry red. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll drink that. Hand it over. It was fine.
That
I just like do it to like just if I don't like it, fucking power through it and
Yeah, or don't.
never order it
power
again.
through it. That's
You
the
never
thing,
order
like,
it again.
Yeah.
Returning a beer is so like I truly don't
Yeah.
fault anyone who they're just like, I can't stomach it. I tried. I
Okay.
can't. I'm
Do you have
like,
a friend?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but it's like, bitch, it's $5.
Yeah. You don't get your money back.
Yeah.
I never got it. It's like I'm not gonna cover up a tattoo. I got dumb tattoos. What am I gonna do? Act like that shit didn't happen? I ordered the fucking beer.
Yeah.
I ordered a tattoo.
Maybe it grows on you. Maybe when it warms up, it's better. Who
Like,
knows?
I'm about to cover up a tattoo.
Don't fucking do it.
Be who
Don't
you
do
are.
it.
It's
Just
your
do it. No, what the fuck?
No, I'm covering it up.
No, you gotta come. You do what you listen. That's you. You gotta. For
I
some
would never
reason,
said that
I have to.
But here's a
That's different. That's
No,
different.
but I would, if I hated a beer, I would tell everyone I hated it because I need to be heard. You
Yeah.
know, I need everyone to know I hated it.
Yeah,
And then
And
you
then
still
I
drink
would look the bartender in the eye and I'd be like, "This fucking sucks. What else you got?" Like, just do it that way.
It's like, why are you drinking it? It's like, 'cause I'm not an asshole. I'm an asshole, but I'm not that asshole.
Yeah.
I'm the different asshole that will tell everybody how awful this beer is.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
I'm just scared to return it. Maybe that's the big deal.
Here's full circle again, going back to why California's different bartending in it because people do that often. That doesn't happen in Portland. That doesn't happen in the Midwest. It doesn't happen in Portland because if you're drinking in Portland, there's someone else that will have it, right? And then you just take another one, right? You're like, oh, this sucks. And someone else is like, I'll drink it. And you're like, no, thank you. Yeah. In Wisconsin, you're so blacked out, you don't give a fuck. You're drinking whatever is put in front of you. You literally drink the bar mat, right? Like, it's fine. I gotta say this, that we're on a beer podcast. There is, I don't know if anyone knows this, there's a difference in lingo in bartending world that I didn't know of when I moved to Portland, and I hospitalized an old man because it wasn't in my...
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
So this, any
what is this story, yo?
Any coworker I've had knows
I don't feel comfortable.
I'm excited.
I didn't have therapy today. Please let me have this.
No, go for it. Because I just had a therapy set moment myself when I realized I didn't send back a beer and I wouldn't cover up a tattoo. And I was like, I've been in relationships for years that I didn't want to be in. But I was like, I did this to myself. I will ride this out.
I'm going to drink the whole thing.
I'm gonna
drink the whole fucking thing
until the love is truly gone. Until the last sip of love is gone.
And I will return it.
Your mother in the eye, and I'm gonna chug. Okay.
Then I'm like, your daughter's trash, and then walk off.
Fucking hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. Holy
That's how relationships are, you know.
God damn, just a fucking bad drink you gotta finish.
For years until they die in a car crash.
God damn. And people wonder why you pay for the bar mat.
Yeah. Well, at least I get to go to bed in my own fucking room.
You goddamn right.
All right. So the story. You
hospitalized
baby. So you hospitalized the person?
Oh, but hospitalized. My bad.
So anyone that's worked with me to this day, it's been 7 years since I've worked in Portland, Oregon at a brewery. 5, doesn't matter, 5 to 7. To this day, people that I've worked with will send me text messages of old men eating alone because it makes me so fucking sad. Like, there are times where, like, if an old man walks, I was a daytime bartender, and it was me bartending, waitressing, and then the one cook, right, at this pizza bar, brewery. And this old man walks in, and he sits at a table facing the window. And I'm already like, and he's dressed to the nines. He has suspenders on. He has wingtip shoes. He's Sunday best on a fucking Tuesday. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. And I walk up to him, and he goes, he's sitting at this tiny table, and he goes, do you mind if I sit at this seat so I can look out the window? Because I really just need the view. The view is of a parking lot. And I'm like, sure. And I'm already fighting tears. And I'm like, what do you want? He's like, well, it's just me, so I think I'll just take a personal pizza, if you have it. And I'm not too fancy. Just cheese.
I know this old man.
And he goes, and a drink. And I go, oh, sir, we have beer. We're a brewery. Here's our beer list. Also, we're a full bar. So if there's anything else you want, let me know. And I'm literally holding back tears. And he's like, oh, I can't do beer, but I'll take a vodka. And I was like, okay. And I go, do you want that in a tall or a short? And he goes, a tall sounds nice. I said, you got it. And I go back, and my one friend, the only 2 people working, he's working in the restaurant area, and I was like, ah! Like, I just start sobbing, and I was like, this guy, you know. And then he's like, well, make him his fucking drink, JoAnn. I'll make him his beer. And I was like, okay. And where I'm from, a tall means a double, because it's a tall glass.
No. A
so
tall
I'm like,
just means in a tall glass. This old man, you killed him?
I pour him an 8-count of vodka in a glass, in a pint glass.
And he's old. He doesn't have taste buds. He doesn't know what the fuck that's going to do to him.
Well, also where I'm from, if an old man walks into a bar at 2 p.m., the only reason he's there is to fucking forget.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay. It doesn't even cross my mind. So I pour him what I know a tall to be. Glug, 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 glug. 2 limes, give it to him. Oh, this is delicious. Then 15 minutes later, his pizza comes out. He has another drink. Okay, pizza's done. My friend who knows that I'm sad is like, I'll make it up. It's selfish. He's like, so you'll stop crying. I'll give him some extra stuff. So he gets him like a slice of pie and something else. But meanwhile, he's still drinking. He's had 3 tall drinks.
Oh, boy.
So he's had 6 drinks. In the span of an hour. Not even, right? Because he doesn't know what's going on. And then it's time to go. Now my manager, because I'm the daytime bartender, the managers don't come in until 5 p.m. when we switch over. I'm about to clock out. The guy's been here for an hour and a half, 2 hours. But
you got a show to go to. This old man's got to figure out his own way.
Yeah, so I'm like, whatever.
Take my fucking tables. Keep the tip. Don't even worry about it.
Meanwhile, let it be known that I'm truly not trying to look at him because I will sob. Selfishly, I'm neglecting.
Why?
It's just so sad.
It's not. These are the happy. You're assuming that they're sad, but they're so happy.
What I'm hearing.
No. We're so excited to be making it that far.
No, this guy's he saw a sweet woman walk up to him with this Wisconsin accent saying, "Do you want a tall?" He's like, "I know what a Wisconsin tall is. Yes, give me a Wisconsin tall, you beautiful beast." And then you did it, and he's like, "Fucking exactly what I wanted today."
And he goes, "I want the view. I want the view. My wife used to be here. She died. Now I want to see what the fuck is behind her. I finally don't have to look at her. I get to look into the parking lot."
This is a beautiful story.
This fucking.
His wife is dead. His children don't want to talk to him. He's sitting alone. He's staring at a purple PT Cruiser in 2015. It's the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, he's remembering the 60s with those Woodies, and he's like, yeah, I remember going out to the beach.
I hope that those drinks brought him memories before they brought him to the hospital.
Yeah, so what? The ambulance had to come? Did he stand up?
So now, my manager, who's to this day one of my good friends, she walks in and she's like, okay, she immediately sees the only customer in the restaurant is this old man facing the window. She immediately walks, my phobia is so bad that she immediately walks up to me. She goes, "Are you okay?" I was like, yeah, the guy's just been drinking. I'm going to clock off though. And then as soon as I say that, he stands up, catches his foot on the side of the table and face plants on the fucking concrete, hits part of his head on
Okay, hold on. Question, timeout. Was this at Old Town Brewing?
Yes.
I'm getting a yes. Those tables' legs are shitty. They're they're made, they're 87 pounds. I went there as soon as I got off a flight to Portland. I went there directly because I was doing a podcast, and I stood up and I slammed my foot into it on my way to get to the Ape Theater. No, those things they're not designed for any human being. Any person would fall on those.
Do you know what they legitimately, I will say this. The owner has never worked in a restaurant in his life. He's never owned a restaurant in his life. He's a things kind of guy. Those tables are old sewing tables from
that makes sense.
Korean War. They're not actual tables. So he got them, he inherited them somehow, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to make these tables." We had to put them on blocks this tall, 8 inches, because a human being cannot sit underneath them. And then you took out the middle and put a glass thing in it. Yeah, they weigh but they're not actual tables.
Yeah, and they're not designed for like a person stand and take your first step forward. It sticks out too far for that person who stands up from the table and just boom. I was like, I was hobbled the rest of the trip because I slammed my foot into that thing.
I'm so sorry that happened to you. Yes, they're disgusting. So, it's not real.
This guy could have been stone sober, and he would have still had that same event happen.
Thank you. Yes,
I'm just here
he could have. But
did he die? Did he die?
Eventually.
No, eventually he falls over, but because the accident happens at a restaurant, they have to ask a lot of questions, and that is the day that I found out organically that there's a difference between a tall and a short in the state of Oregon versus in the state of Wisconsin. And no one believed. I was like, I just gave him what he ordered.
Yeah, tall.
Like,
yeah.
Tall's extra soda water. I was like,
they were like,
no, tall's a double.
Fuck the old man. You got rid of fucking all this alcohol for cheap.
And just to tie this all together, I have done an episode at Old Town Brewing. I think that's how we talked about this, JoAnn. I met you at Hop Dogma, and I was mentioning I did this podcast, and your friend Jordan was the guest.
Jordan Wilson.
Yes. Yeah. And so when we were talking, this doesn't mean anything.
That's who was working with me.
Right. So he revealed that recently, well, this is a 2-year ago episode, a delivery driver had quit the route because there were ghosts at Old Town. So sounds like your old guy is still pissed.
Yeah, 2 different locations, but there are ghosts.
And there are old guys.
I refuse to change. Well, we have to change kegs in the tunnels, which is like historically, I feel like I'm talking too much, but historically Portland has these Shanghai tunnels that are very much haunted. The entire Pacific Northwest is it's the suicide capital of the world for a fucking reason, because the devil lives there. Like, it's wildly unreal.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah. Portland and Seattle, they're suicide capitals of the world. And it's truly unreal.
Oh boy.
But there's a lot of these, they're old shipping air towns, and there was like these underground tunnels where in bars in Portland, Oregon, on this grid in downtown Portland, back in the day, you'd be like a boat worker guy. You'd come in for a beer, and the bar would get you fucked up. They'd put like hallucinogenics in your beer, and then you'd get fucked up, and at the bar, there's a lever that you pull, and your seat falls through the ground, and then you're in like an opium den underground. Like, to this day, and the bar, Old Town Brewing, we own one of those like original bars. Like, you can see the lever on the other side of the bar. So it's totally true. And then downstairs in the tunnel is where all of our like modern refrigerators were. So that's where you have to change the kegs. And I totally believe it, that people are like, nope, I'm not going down there to change a keg, because you're literally in a ghost haunting tunnel.
Yeah, I would not keep
That's
that job.
fucked up, yeah. That's like every comedy club is haunted.
Yeah,
every comedy club, every brewery is all fucking haunted.
A lot of sadness.
Because we're all degenerates.
A lot of bad memories, a lot of sadness just stuck there. Speaking of comedy clubs and breweries, how would you guys contrast stand-up comedy to working at a brewery?
What the fuck kind of a dumbass question is that, dude?
I think that's a great question.
Okay, you go for it. You take the answer.
You know, Mark, you're so personable. You know.
I don't know. JoAnn, you got to tell me. I was trying to make something very deep, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Nope, very surface level question.
I'll start. You chime in.
Okay.
I think crowd work. I think I kind of learned crowd work.
Damn, it's exactly like fucking. It's exactly like it. That's all what it is. It's crowd work. Mm-hmm. It's all crowd work, especially if you're at a nighttime. Like before I started doing comedy, I bet you working at a bar during the night, because I like when I started doing comedy, I was like, I quit working nights, right? So I'm just gonna, but I always had the ability to do like talk to people, you know, and riff.
Well, daytime bartending is so different than nighttime bartending. So daytime bartending, which is what I did too, you get to talk all day.
And that was horrifying to me.
Really?
I had to stop after like fucking years. I was like, I'm back to being a server because I can't go from talking to people to then talking to people at night.
Yes. No. I will say that like since doing comedy more, I can't go. I'm a worse bartender now after comedy because I don't put up with people's bullshit. Like all these dudes on dates where they're like, oh, well, the lady will have. I'm like, the lady can speak for herself.
Exactly. You gave more of that confidence.
Yeah.
I think like that really helped. I think as far as handling situations too, because you have very prissy people and you can't exactly tell them to go fuck themselves because you may lose your job.
You're on the clock.
So with comedy, you can't exactly tell a heckler to go fuck themselves because you may not have the crowd.
Yeah.
And you may lose the crowd and lose your set. So you have to, there's this dance that you find that you can dance with them and find like that even, and that's huge. Yeah, that's big. That's big and like the same thing for both.
Yeah.
I didn't even really think about that.
I think working at a dance club before doing comedy, I think it really kind of full circled itself either or, because working at a nightclub where you can't really hear people and they're already drunk anyways, so you're like, what? I heard that is $7. You know, like you're like yelling.
You're dealing with that, yeah.
Yeah, and then they're like, well, okay, so like I've dealt with drunk people before being on stage, so that felt like a comfort zone. And then being on stage and dealing with like, it's still a service job. When you're on stage, it's still a service industry job.
Well, yeah, even when you're off stage, when you're shaking hands.
Yes.
It's a service job. It's a service industry job.
I truly believe, I mean, we don't need to name people, but off the top of my head, I can think of my favorite comics are also people who've also been bartenders or been service industry workers. And we have a little bit more of an edge. We have a little bit more of a personality. We can banter more. I think people like connect with service industry type comics more.
We use hack jokes.
Yeah.
What's your hack service joke?
My hack service joke?
Oh, I used to have the hackest shit. Especially because I would wait and then like I would just be able to fucking throw it and then dip. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, I would love killing a table because I would be like the daytime server. And sometimes, you know, you would bomb, but like sometimes I wouldn't wait tables like, hey, how you doing? I would sometimes get in trouble for being too comfortable with tables, you know, because I would just treat it like a little set, you know, and I would love just making that table of four, just big explosion of laugh and then hit that and then walk away. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Thank you. Good night. You know,
and not a high note. And then a high note until you have to give them their chicken fingers. Then
exactly. You know how to talk. You know like when the conversation is going to a lull or bad. Yeah.
I love women. I love the rapport.
Yeah, for me, yeah.
But there truly is, like, when a woman approaches your table, like, I don't know if this happens to male servers, but to women servers, I always, if I'm bartending or waitressing and I'm approaching a table and it's a guy and a girl, whether they've been together forever or whether they're on a date, I always make sure to talk to the woman first.
You always have to. You always have to.
Yeah. And also, like, for guys, it's polite, but for girls, I don't want them to think I'm hitting on their man.
Yeah.
Because that's happened. People think that. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck that your man's asking me what IPAs. I don't fucking like IPAs.
We always look at the guy too. Like I always have to look at the guy. I always have to be like,
oh, so you're like buddy-buddying with the guy.
I have to. I can't be like, I'm not trying to like, but yeah, I don't know. That's a whole different like dynamic, you know, like, cause then you have to play psychologist sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's like, I'm not ignoring the female. Like for you guys, I'd be like, you're not ignoring, but you're not like, he's not going to order for you, but also like, I want you to know I'm buddies with you if I was a guy. As a girl, my joke that you were talking about, I would always just pick a way to make fun of the guy, mostly his outfit or something. Like a lot of times I deal with people that are on first dates and I'll, since doing comedy, I'm way more to be like, are you guys on a date? Because I'm like, she's not going to go home with you with how you're acting.
Because you want to address everything.
Yes.
You want to put everything on the table.
Be in control.
If I know there's no, if I point out the elephant, I'm the smart one, you know? Now I'm controlling. Yeah.
Right. Because he's going to be too embarrassed to step up to me because I'm getting control of what food and beer he gets.
Yeah.
And she's going to be like, thank you for saying something. Or if she's dumb, she's going to be like, what was that girl saying? And I'll be like, don't get raped tonight. You know,
That's sick.
I just remembered how much I fucking love bartending.
Stop.
No.
I'm fucking, and I have to go soon. And now this is what we're ending the conversation on is me going on Craigslist looking for a job.
Jobs that don't exist. I know, man.
Right?
Well, I thankfully met a lot of great people at Alamo Draft House, and they hired a bunch of great people that work in the city that now we all are doing other things. And even to be like keeping in touch with them, like everything's upside down and no one knows.
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
Like
everything.
even the restaurant that I'm getting unemployment from is like, we don't even know when we're opening up.
No idea.
You know?
No concept. Yeah. It's a terrible time. And so I wanted to go one last question. It's a wrap up question. Because comedy's also fucking weird now too. What are you guys doing to stay relevant in a rapidly fading industry? And in this case, I mean comedy, not beer, which is also rapidly fading.
Too rapidly fading. I'll say this. I mean, the Midwest is not shut down. I'll tell you that much. I got flown out to go do a weekend like 2 weeks ago in Appleton.
Go. That's sick. Let's go.
Yeah, the Midwest. I actually started quarantine there because I was doing shows in Chicago and Minneapolis, and then quarantine happened, and I just stayed with my parents in Madison for like 3 months, right? And it never really happened. The West Coast and New York and California are way more worried about coronavirus. Obviously, there's more people. I get it. It's fine. Middle America, there's nothing.
Very spread out.
Trump's winning. Okay, so but to answer your question, while in quarantine, I started my own business, writing erotic fiction stories.
Let's go.
And it's taken off, and we're getting more involved. So if anyone has a suggestion, if you're a single person, if you're a couple, I do a lot of couples, you send me your names and a scenario, and I will write a 2-page erotic story for you.
Nice.
It's called JoJo's No-Nos.
Oh,
that's
beautiful.
Hilarious. That is fucking awesome.
Thank you.
That's super funny. I just started writing short stories for people too. I would write.
Nice.
I write bedtime stories. And I
like sexy bedtime stories?
No, because I thought it was going to be like for adults where like you get a little raunchy, you get a little sweary, but everyone's like, oh, my kids would love this. I'm like, God damn it. Okay,
everyone's
fine.
worried about the children. Yeah.
I didn't think about this. I should have really been like, these are adult bedtime stories, but they're not dirty bedtime stories.
I'm the adult bedtime stories, and you are the kid ones. My website's coming out in a month. I'll let you know.
Perfect.
Let's go. Let's go.
Mark, what are you doing?
Shit. I'm just editing old videos from 4 years ago and posting them on Instagram.
They're so funny though. They still hold up.
Nah.
It's so
I actually. What's up?
You got to get on TikTok.
Oh, I'm on the TikTok. Oh, I'm on it.
I'll go find you.
We got that 20. We got 20K up in there, yo. I which is like 1K on Instagram.
Right.
It's like 800 on Instagram if you got 20,000. What was I saying? Oh, I started a Twitch channel. It was something I always wanted to do before this. I've always played video games, and I didn't like the Zoom shows. I mean, I was doing them, but it just wasn't the same. And when I started this Twitch channel, and it started kind of taking off more than like that it's supposed to happen when you start something like this. And I get a lot of like the same feelings from comedy, but doing this, it feels more similar to comedy than doing a 10-minute set on Zoom, because I've been like building a community, and like you interact with the viewers, you're constantly riffing, and the spotlight's always on you. So it's like you're doing a set for 8 fucking hours, 6 hours, you're showing off, and I'm like having chat. They'll like give me 2 words if they redeem chat points, which is like something you could do if you're in the channel for a while. You accumulate these chat points. You could save up enough of them to like give me 2 words. I'll riff out a joke, and then I'm like writing material as I'm playing video games.
And it's recorded, so you can
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm like, we got a green screen set up now, so I'm going in and out of like different scenes. I got like it's almost like a TV show is what we're like turning it into. So that's incredible. Thank you. It's been a lot of fun, and we've been making some money, but the big part about it is like just meeting all these cool people all over the world and building this like great community, positive. Right. Community,
right?
It's been cool.
That's the cool thing about all of this, is that everyone's pivoted and adapted in new ways, and that's so empowering and exciting to hear. I didn't know about Twitch.
What's that? Oh, it is like it's changed the game for me. Like it's something like and what you were saying is, I think people. It's great to see the comedians go to what they've really wanted. Like I'm doing a trip with the comedian that is leaning into golf now, and he's always loved golf, and now he's like pivoting into golf, and we're taking like a fucking trip, filming like some golf shit, and it's like
the grind is gone.
The grind is gone.
It's like now I'm doing what I want to do, and I don't feel
I don't feel like I'm not waking up every day, and the first thing on my head is, am I booked tonight? If I'm not, how do I get booked? And who is booked that shouldn't be booked, and why aren't I booked? And that has not happened since quarantine, because no one's fucking booked. But now that JoAnn says that she's booked in the Midwest, I'm a little. Why aren't I booked in the Midwest? That's so tight. I'm so excited. I'm going to send you a DM about. How do I get in touch with you? Just the DM on Insta.
Yeah.
Oh, DM on Instagram. Yeah, please.
For the erotic fiction shit.
My God, please.
Let's go.
I'm so good at it. I'm like,
I want it. I want it really bad. I think that's so fucking tight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And since we're on erotic fiction, I'll plug this real quick on YouTube. Look up "Getting to Know My Tongue" by me.
Let's go.
For Stab. Do you guys ever do, Mark? Do you ever do Stab?
I never got to do Stab.
Okay, it's back.
But I love them.
Yeah.
And is this a story about you eating out your girlfriend?
No, this is what was it? It was, you have to write like an erotic, it was a movie makeup. You have to make up a movie, and they give you a title. They gave me "Getting to Know My Tongue," and I was like, porn's the obvious thing. I'm not going to do that. And so I was trying to write these a tongue and a taste bud, getting to know each other, buddy cop thing. I'm like, we're just going to go porn. And it's like fucking so funny
Right?
and like sweet and graphic. It's got so many things. My favorite part was I was like, so much more than diction is done with the tip of the tongue and the teeth. I loved it. I was like,
That's sick. That's sick.
Because I was like, yeah, I just want to use a lot of hard consonants and like make really give a mouth workout, you know? Like I was so
Oh
excited.
my god. The only thing I want is for people to read and have a chub.
Yeah, please.
Mm-hmm.
Like guy or girl. Girls get chubs too. No one talks about it, but we do.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So we kind of got on this. Mark asked how to get a hold of you, JoAnn, in order to do that. So let's all just say where people can reach out to you to do these wonderful things. Where can they find you on Twitch, Mark? Where can they hit you up for erotic
you can
stories?
find me on Instagram at Mark Smalls, Mark Space Smalls. It's not actual space typed out, but just Mark Smalls. I'm the guy with the beanie. I look like I'm homeless. You know,
but
you can
with
find me on
beautiful hair.
Yeah. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate it. You can find me.
Jawline, beautiful hair.
The jawline is
Doesn't
just
have a
because
home.
I'm a little skinny, but that's. You can find me on Twitch at Mark Smalls Live, twitch.tv/Mark Smalls Live, and I'm usually up there every day, and we play a bunch of different games. You come drop a follow, talk and chat. Show support. The chat is great. Everyone that follows is like such a good community. It's a fun hang. If you're ever feeling down, and you're feeling alone late at night, hop in, watch me kill some people on Call of Duty, and talk to the chat. We'll make you laugh.
And JoAnn, where can people hit you up?
Hell yeah. On Instagram, it's my last name's atrocious, but I'm going for it. It's JoJo Schinderle. JoJo Schinderle. Woo!
Slow it down. Say it again.
That's right. Yeah, JoJo Schinderle. That is where you can. It's called JoJo's No Nos. It's truly been like this underground phenomenon. It's to the point where I need to make it its own thing. So I'm using my marketing skills to create it into more. But yeah, if you want a sexy story.
Let's go. I'm excited about this.
Hit me up, dude. I love writing them. I mean, legitimately, I was like, I put out more than I can chew, and there's a couple times where I'm like, oh fuck. Like, this is wild. So that's where you can go to. That's what I'm doing. Otherwise, just on Zoom shows around town. You know how it goes.
Yeah, and so you can follow Barley and me across social media at Barley and Me Pod, doing those chugs for charity, raising money for good people and good things. JoAnn, my storytelling, what I do is actually make a physical copy of the story as well, like a little book, and I tie it up. But I also offer an audiobook version if you want that for extra money. So I'm just saying, if you want to do that, you could probably do that. Be like, it's $60 for the story. You want me to tell it to you? It's $100. You know, and it's like you can get your sexy
Let's
voice.
go.
Oh,
Y'all are fucking it up right now.
Wow. No. Okay. Here's the thing. I know. Sorry. Cut this off if you want, but the Patreon's rolling out. I always thought Patreon was kind of a dying medium, but people are like, no. So there's going to be a JoJo's No Nos Patreon. $5, you get a story a month, and then $7 you get the story plus I'll read it to you, and I have a whole sound room set up. It's like ASMR. It's about to go down. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And then it will go from there. It's great.
Okay, great. So we got it figured out. You're working on everything. That's what the important thing is. Like, this gets me to because I'm not writing jokes. I haven't written a joke in forever, but I'm like, this gets me creative writing, and I get to work on my voice, and that's like, cool, let's do that. Anyway, Barley and me across social media, Barley and Me Pod. Email questions, comments, concerns, barleyandmepodcast@gmail.com. This is episode 132 of Barley and Me. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much, JoAnn Schinderle, for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
And Mark Smalls, all the way from Alaska.
Thank you, JoJo.
Thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Mr. Ben.
And thanks so much for listening. Get home safe. Stay home safe.
All righty. Let's go.
Thank you.